Alright, welcome one and all, whoever may be watching this. This should be part 53 of Torment, Tides of Numenéra. I tried so very hard to finish this game before I went away, but it just wasn't happening, and I don't even know if we'll finish it now. But anyways, here we are. This is the end game. In the last video, I ended it outside the portal. What happened is I leveled everyone up after that. I changed his shape because that became an option, and then I just walked through the portal and this is what was there. I haven't proceeded to examine anything or do anything along those lines. I also just need to say that my wireless mouse, I've lost the USB connection, the Bluetooth thing. So I've had to just resort to using my normal mouse. So I will try very hard to not click and talk at the same time, or just sort of edit out what I can. But anyways, here we are. This potentially...
Perhaps I should learn to juggle.
Oh, no sass, Makina. This potentially might be the last video. Who's to say, really?
You won't notice I'm gone.
I think I've said for the last 4 videos that this could be the last one.
Yes.
The dominating image on this panel is a map of the room, 5 platforms in a circle around the central platform. It looks like controls to raise the floors, connecting the various platforms. Deep cracks radiate out from the 3 different places as though someone had smashed the panel in a hurried rage. The controls are unresponsive. And yet you feel something. The floors are like those in the deep fathom where you first awoke after your fatal fall. The platforms as well as the control panels are mental constructs like everything else here. They should respond to your will if you just exert it. Alright, let's tidal surge it. The tides surround you, swirling throughout the entirety of this place. You exert your will, pushing power through those channels and into the control panel. Even as you watch, the glass reshapes itself, the cracks heal as though they were never there. With a hum and chitter, the controls come to life. The platform you are standing on pulses with an orange glow, showing the floors in their current state. Touching the platform on the screen should shift the floors. A familiar voice echoes from the depths below. You're still here, then. I had hoped the labyrinth would trap your mind as well, but apparently I made your body too well. You're too late, though. Even if you repair the entire fathom, I'm at the labyrinth's final defenses. By the time you reach me, I'll have broken through the door. Go ahead, solve your puzzles. It won't matter. In a little while, you'll be nothing more than a whiff of nostalgia in my mind. The voice fades to nothing. Alright, so it looks like we've got a bit of a puzzle on our hands. I'm assuming we have to get to this. Obviously, we have to get to the center console. I wonder if it's a matter of, like, leaving someone somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, if we leave someone here...
What do you need?
I'm going.
Yeah, okay, that's not even an option. Alright, never mind. The map on this control panel is fully functional. The platform you are standing on pulses with an orange glow, yada yada yada. Let's connect the platform, I guess. With a hum and rattle, pylons raise and fall from the depths, changing the shape of the room. The spectre's voice booms from below. There's no reason this should be easy for you. You hear a great shout from the depths, and suddenly your mind is buffeted with a powerful blast of tidal force. Yeah, tidal affinity. Oh nice, I was healed. Excellent. Nice. Critical success. Okay, you reel backwards, energy slamming against your mind like a physical force, but your defenses hold and you are unharmed. Yeah, see, this is why I thought if someone stayed here, then they could, like, interact with the console here. But it's not really an option being presented to me.
Of course.
Ooh. Okay, so the map is fully functional, pulses with an orange glow. Yada yada yada. There's an extra image here that was not visible on the other panels. A human, figure in dotted outline. It flickers erratically as though something were wrong with it. Well, yeah, I guess let's press that one. As you place your hand on it, something activates within the panel. Not just this panel, but every panel in the room. The circular stations on every platform glow, and the image of the human figure begins to pulse regularly as though waiting for input. Tiny needles puncture your fingers. There is a flash of the circular synth plate next to the panel, and a finger-long blade in its center starts spinning and humming around its axis. As it spins, it projects a three-dimensional image very similar to yourself. Your own body flickers in and out of phase. The blade spins faster, brighter. Your body's flickering accelerates until finally the blade dissolves, and standing on the platform is a fully grown human that looks remarkably like you. Oh, that's okay. The figure before you looks almost exactly like you, but a man instead of a woman. He doesn't bear your scars, but otherwise his face is like a mirror. Hello, he says pleasantly. You must be me. What happened to her? She did not treat our body all that well. Who are you? Well, I'm a short-lived version of you. He looks you up and down. Basically, our creator used these cloning stations to rapidly prototype different body types and features before deciding on a final shell for his consciousness. He looks at the control panel. These look different from the controls I remember. It looks like I'm stuck on the most recent settings. He flashes you a smile. Not that that's a bad thing, of course. I'm sure you won't mind. How long do you last? Only a few minutes, give or take. Catching your look, he adds, It's not so bad, it doesn't hurt. At least I don't remember it hurting. If you only lived a short time, how do you know all of this? Oh, that's the most interesting part. Our creator always liked to process things externally, to have someone to talk to. He constructed assistants all the time. I was enabled to maintain my memories from version to version. That way, I could provide more useful feedback on how one body moved or felt compared to another. Our progenitor would even have me perform tasks from time to time, sometimes mundane, sometimes dangerous. The fact that I could learn from my mistakes was a great help. Do you know what this place is? I thought it was a cloning laboratory where prototype bodies were tested, but this doesn't look right at all. Where's the floor, the walls? All the equipment is here, but... He looks back at you. It's like a nightmare version of the laboratory, I know. As if someone described the lab to a visitant that didn't quite understand it all, and then that visitant tried to recreate it. He shakes his head. I don't know. Can you perform a task for me, like walk to that other station and toggle the floors? He gives you a funny look but says, Sure, I can do that. Oh my dude, what happened? I mean, that didn't help me at all.
Yes.
Why did he explode? Okay, so I want to connect this to the one on my left, I think.
On my way.
See, I don't know, are we going to the center chamber or are we going here? We'll have to find some way to get to it.
Yes.
My dude keeps exploding. Why? Well, hold on.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Oh, hello. Oh. Tidal energy from the portal blasts the floor back into the depths. You're able to reconnect them to the platform across the fathom, but not to the exit. You'll have to find another way to reach it. Well, I get it. We're supposed to go to the middle here, but... I thought if I got my dude to interact with this one here in the corner, not that you can see where I'm pointing at, but hopefully you get it, the one next to me here on the right, I thought that would connect us, but apparently not.
I'm ready.
I feel bad that he has to explode every time he does this. Okay, nice.
Yes.
It's a stasis chamber of some sort. There's no controls on it anywhere, nothing that could help you raise the floors to reach the depths of the labyrinth. A woman lies inside, clearly visible through the shimmering energy field, and looking as though she were asleep. Her features are exactly those of the ghostly woman you met in the calm. Something disturbs the air next to you. The ghostly woman's face begins to appear, as though your thoughts summoned her. What ghostly woman did I meet? I don't remember. You did summon me, she says, intuiting your thoughts. I can discern your memories more clearly than the others, even more clearly than my own. She looks sadly down into the chamber. But I remember now. This is who I was, the daughter of the changing god. It was long ago, after the Tabbat had laid siege to Sagus Cliffs. My father fought them off, and I was among the survivors, but I didn't exactly survive. One of the Tabbat's weapons made me sick somehow in my mind. He discovered how to transfer consciousnesses, my consciousness, into a new body, hoping it would save me, but it didn't. She places a hand on the surface of the chamber. My sickness followed me in my mind, so my father put me in there. He tried to find a cure for me, and when that failed, he tried to bring me back from death itself. He thought I was unconscious in there, but I remember. The memories are fragmented, but they're there. I was aware of everything, and with so many new memories flooding my mind, I'm able to fill in the gaps I didn't know. Does this mean you're a cast-off? Her eyebrows scrunch together, then she shakes her head. No, I don't think so. I have my own consciousness, like my father does. This is who I was. Now I'm probably just a memory stored forever in the labyrinth. How often has he tried to bring you back? Considering he had centuries to do it, not very often. A lot at first, then only when he remembered or had some new idea. He used the probability engines underneath Sagus Cliffs to birth women with my personality. He tried to use Heaven's rejoinder, his means for turning back defeat in the endless battle. Once he tried to kidnap a version of me from an alternate reality, but she died in a tragic accident. He never tried that again. What am I to you, Father? Did you just give up? How much do you remember from being in that tank? I can't tell you in time measurements. I only know I was in the tank until the sorrow attacked us. My father fled, saving himself. She laughs once, but there is no humor in it. Maybe he figured he could bring me back even without my body. It's kind of a thing he would assume. Her face darkens. Maybe he didn't care. Does that mean this fathom is constructed from your memories? She looks around her, taking it all in for the first time. I don't recognize... No, wait. Yes, it's all twisted and disordered, like in a nightmare. But yes, I think these are my memories. I need to get to that portal. Can you build me a path?
Ready to learn something new.
She looks you directly in the eyes, strong and certain. Yes, I can. Oh, of course. Go, she says. Stop him. He's harmed more lives than anyone can count. If you have the power to heal the floors, would you have the power to heal me as well? While you're in this place? Yes, I think I might. You feel nothing more than a tingle as she places her hand on your shoulder. Then an immense weight of tranquility fills your body and mind. Is this kind of like resting?
Good.
Oh, huzzah! Also, I love that I've got 20 intellect now. That was a fun moment that happened that I didn't really pay attention to.
Yeah? Good call.
Alright, beats me if this is going to be the end game. I've thought that every time we've entered a new location.
Yes.
At least we've rested for whatever that's worth.
I'll remember that.
Oh, hey, we're like back at the beginning. Okay, so I'm assuming this is where we need to get to.
All right.
Countless scratches and wounds mar the surface of this door. Someone made a great effort to get inside, but to no avail. As you approach, however, the bars of the door shudder and bend. It wants to let you in. Alright, I guess place a hand on the surface. The door doesn't open at your touch. Instead, you are drawn into the door itself. Oh dear. You're in a glass dome, several kilometers above the ground. Blue sky fills your vision. Beneath you is a floor of golden metal. A deafening klaxon blares in warning against something. A familiar-looking stasis chamber lies in the center of the dome. A chest fashioned from synth and cold iron sits to one side. Behind the pod, a diamond hovers in the air, scattering prismatic light. A pedestal glows near your hand, a deep azure blue. There is nothing that seems to warrant the blaring klaxons, yet you know the alarm sounds for a reason. Oh gosh, so we're given 4 things that we need to look at. I apologize, this video might end up being a long one. Alright, let's look at the chamber. It's the ghostly woman's stasis chamber, the real one from which the labyrinth constructs were made. The changing god's daughter lies inside. Her skin is pale and there are dark circles around her eyes. Her chest rises and falls as though she was sleeping soundly. The laboratory, this body, must belong to the changing god. Right, open the chamber. Suddenly a man appears between you and the chamber. He's not all there. You can see the clouds and vista on the other side of him. His hands are raised in front of him placatingly. Hey, what are you doing? If you open that, Mika will die. His mannerisms remind you of the spectre from the labyrinth, though his face, clothing, and voice are not the same. What's going on here? Why are the alarms going off? His face darkens. The sorrow is here. It found us somehow, and now it's trying to break into the lab. We need to get you out of here. Why is the sorrow here? What does it want? I couldn't tell you what it wants. Maybe there's something in your archives. You told me we woke it up, somehow, when we did the first consciousness transfer. What should we do? I strongly advise you to save yourself, thus saving both our minds. Unfortunately, that would mean leaving her. He looks at the chamber and frowns. I don't like it any more than you do. The only other option I can think of are to somehow stop the sorrow by force, unlikely, or figure out what it wants. He shakes his translucent head. I don't think we have enough time for either, but maybe you know something I don't. He points to the hovering diamond. Maybe you can find something in your archives to help us. Just be careful what you research in there. We don't have any time to waste. Alright, let's go to the hovering diamond. As soon as you approach the diamond, the top of the bloom opens. An illusionary globe appears within. Words and images speed across its surface. A woman's voice speaks directly into your mind. Welcome back. Please state your query. A wave of familiarity slams into you. The Changing God used this as an archival device. He kept records of his thoughts and experiments. Specific records can be retrieved by speaking a search term. Consciousness transfer. Previews of several entries flit through your mind. There are scores of results, and you can't figure out how they're organized, nor how to quickly ascertain whether an entry will be useful to you or not. It takes some time to sift through them for something useful. You will have to be careful what you spend time researching. Finally, you find one that's what you're looking for. A male voice, the voice of the body you are wearing, speaks in your mind. Your voice says, the consciousness transfer was a success. I transferred Mika to a new body first, a clone of her original. There appeared to be no ill side effects after several days, so I performed the procedure on myself. I'll be watching both of us carefully over the next few weeks, but thus far I am very hopeful. I am sure there will be unforeseeably long-term effects, but for the moment it seems I have found a way to stave off death itself. I cannot imagine any long-term effects that could outweigh that benefit. Okay, the sorrow. The voice says, I don't know what the sorrow is exactly, just that it's old. Really old. And it doesn't pay much attention to established laws of space-time. I wonder just how established those laws really are. Anyway, I first came across mention of it in my research of the tides. It appears to have been some kind of guardian against tidal abuse. Evidence suggests it may have been solely responsible for the destruction of one of the prior worlds. The voice sighs. My experiments with consciousness transfer appear to have woken it. I don't believe it's after me specifically, but I have come to believe it was responsible for the destruction of my previous laboratory. There is a thunderous boom. The floor shakes and sways beneath you, causing you to lose your balance. Outside the dome, the horizon tilts back and forth, giving you a sense of vertigo. The spectral man appears in front of you suddenly, a look of human terror on its face. It's broken into the tower. It's only a matter of time before it reaches us. We have to do something fast. Open the synth chest. The chest is locked with a keypad bearing 17 strange symbols. You're about to lose hope when you realize you know which symbol to press to unlock the chest. You enter the correct code before the memory can slip away. The chest opens with a soft click. The only item of note inside are a wooden shaft with a multicolored crystal tied to one end and a large hemisphere made of azure steel. I guess examine the rod. There is nothing mystical about the wooden haft, but the crystal on the end is definitely from a prior world. You think it might be a domination rod. The crystal saps the will of any creature it touches. Yeah, take it. The azure steel dome. It's heavy, too heavy to lift by yourself. Your best guess is that it's a war projector of some kind, probably brought up here as a defensive measure for the laboratory. Unfortunately, you can't see any indication of what kind of barrier it would create, nor any way to activate it. Alright, speak to the spectral man. Okay, like, it just doesn't give us any option to end this. How close is the sorrow? Inside the tower. Stasis chamber. I don't know, archival diamond? The tides. Your voice says, the tides have proven to be an extremely fruitful path of exploration. The Tablet don't realize what they have unearthed. They saw these trinkets as just more Numenéra, but the forces may even have the power to turn back death itself. I certainly hope so for her sake. Ah, escape, that's what I want. Your voice says, I won't take any risks with this new body. I've initiated a fail-safe procedure to transport me away should something happen to me or the laboratory. If any unforeseen danger presents itself, I should be able to escape to a backup location. Suddenly there is a tremendous popping sound. The air sizzles, causing every hair to stand on end and your entire body to tingle dangerously. The spectral man appears in front of you again. It puts its hands on your shoulders, though you feel nothing. It shattered the electrostatic shield. If it breaks through the plasma window, we're done for. It looks at the hatch in the ground as though it could see through it. What's your plan? You've got a plan, right? Well, apparently not. Domination rod? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Wall projector. The picture of the azure steel dome from the chest appears on the globe inside the diamond. Your voice says, the panel was not easy to find. There are no visible seams anywhere, but it's easy to open once you know it's there. As soon as I found it, I had the trans-dimensional wall projector moved to the new laboratory. I don't know what exactly destroyed the old location, but I know it was trans-dimensional in nature. The projector should create a barrier large enough to surround the entire dome in case whatever it was comes hunting again. There's a hiss and a screech beneath the floor. Suddenly the metal hatch flies off its hinges, cranking the strong-glass ceiling, then smashing the glowing pedestal. The spectral man's image disappears. A foul black cloud rises from the hatch, and the air is filled with an unearthly wail and the stench of rotting flesh. Tendrils lash out, slicing metal and synth wherever they touch. A terrible face emerges from the cloud. It examines you, then it turns its attention to the chamber. Well, if we're going to go with the way the story unfolds... While the sorrow is distracted, duck past it and down the hatch. You've only taken 2 steps when the sorrow turns its horrible attention to you. One of its tendrils darts towards you, slicing through both the strong glass wall and the steel floor. It reaches your face and you feel nothing. The tendril goes right through your body. You realize that the dome is fading away. No, your body is fading away as some device tugs it safely away to another location. The sorrow's unearthly wail becomes a shriek. Though the spectral advisor is gone, you hear its voice in your head. Thank goodness the failsafe kicked in. You'll be safe, though the girl and I are doomed. I'll be easy to recover, but I'm sure you'll... He's cut off as the sorrow's tendrils flay the laboratory all around it in a blind fury. The chest and diamond are cut to ribbons. The chamber disintegrates in a ball of purple flame, and the last thing you see as your mind fades from this body is the face of the young girl, melting and boiling into ash.
I'm ready to learn something new.